And speaking of Marvel, that leads me to our featured story of the night. It's very true. Now I want to talk about some Deadpool, everybody, because Deadpool rumors have been going crazy lately about Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3, yeah, I love it. It's great. We got Wolverine back, we know that. But I think it was like last month, I think it was April, something like that. There was a rumor going around about doing Magneto World. That's what they were saying it was going to be for this new Deadpool movie, where it was Deadpool killing off the whole universe of X-Men characters, wrapping that all up, sending him over to Marvel by himself to branch into that universe. Everyone thought that was the thing. Well, now some rumors are coming out. And that was still kind of a cool storyline because they still had Magneto with Thor's hammer, like riding a tidal wave into the freaking world and like blowing everything up and being the person to destroy the whole world. Sounds fucking cool. But people are saying now, rumors coming out and some plot leaks coming out saying that's not what's happening. They're going to dive into Mojo World. And I don't really know about this too much. I did a little deep dive because I haven't really heard of it too much. But Mojo World really is about Mojo, who's a character Mojo Jojo, who comes from a world where he's like a TV celebrity. He wants to make his own TV shows. He's this big fat guy in this huge floating chair. He looks like a big alien. I don't know. Looks like King Kong Bundy.
He's like Clayface-ish.
He's like Clayface. Yeah. So he wants to capture all the X-Men and throw them into a show and make a reality show, just like we talked about Star Wars, a reality show with all the X-Men. So that's Mojo's whole JoJo. That's what he wants to do. But anyways, the big thing about this, they're saying that the TVA is going after Deadpool because if you watch the end of Deadpool 2, he has a thing where he takes Cable's time travel thing and starts traveling through the universe and like he kills Deadpool from Wolverine 1. He goes and he kills Ryan Reynolds so he doesn't read the Green Lantern script. Like he's fucking with the timeline. So they're saying that the TVA is going to grab him at the beginning of this movie and be like, you fucked the timeline up, you have to fix it now. And Mobius is going to join him, and they're going to get Wolverine to help him, and he's going to go to Mojo World and take out Mojo and also take out his sidekick. And it's like, it sounds interesting.
This
and the
sounds
fact is,
good. That sounds awesome.
But Mike, they're also not going to kill all the X-Men. The idea is that Wolverine and Deadpool have to get Magneto, Professor X, X-Men members, X-Force together to go in and defeat Mojo. It causes an incursion, destroys the Fox universe, and they all get sucked in to the 616 universe back at Marvel. And now they're all together in one universe. Now, this kind of makes sense in a lot of ways because I'll tell you this. The one thing is that all these actors for all these X-Men characters are still on contract until 2025. Until 2025, Disney cannot recast anybody. They have to use these actors as these parts. You're talking about Wolverine, you're talking about Professor X, that's why you saw, Charles Xavier be, Patrick Stewart again, because they have to use them until 2025.
Can you also go over the previous leak that was that Magneto, conquered Earth and he was the boss
that's the whole
of Earth?
thing. Well, I said he flew in the tidal wave.
Right, no, but these are the two different things. So it's either they have to fight Magneto and the X-Men, or they recruit Magneto and the X-Men to fight Mojo.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear distinction between the two leak theories.
And the biggest thing between both leaks, which is probably the most accurate thing here, is that the TVA is involved, and they're actually doing the same thing they did with Loki, where they grab Deadpool and they're like, "Hey,
that's weird.
You got to fix this."
I
think I don't know. That's the biggest thing that's kind of connecting everything.
At the bit. Call on Sean.
I know.
The fucking bit.
So there's a lot to be had here, a lot to digest. Let's go to Sean first here, Sean. What do you think about this leaked plot leak? Do you think this is real? Do you think this is anything true with this? Or do you think this is all just garbage internet shit and don't trust anything until Marvel or Ryan Reynolds says something?
It's all bullshit. That's kind of my feeling. Honestly, I was reading it and listening to and watching a few videos of people covering this leak. It's a lot to cover. It's a lot of stuff that is just a little too heady, I would think, for modern movie audiences to really get behind. Like the stuff where, Magneto has destroyed the world or taken over the world. That's pulled from a storyline called Ultimatum and in the Ultimate Universe from Marvel Comics, which was very controversial at the time because they essentially blew up the line "Love in this picture." And to bring in a character and explain Mojo and the process of Mojoverse and who Spiral is, it's just a lot of shit for one movie to do.
But that's what he does.
I understand that, but like even the way that they brought in members of X-Force into Deadpool 2, like it still was Deadpool's spin on it. It still very much felt like it was just their movie. They got to do what they wanted, and any kind of consequences or tie-ins, fuck it. Like I just there just is too much in there, especially when they started talking about the TVA. Like I don't think we're gonna see them outside of Loki.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that they would, if they're doing the same thing in Loki. Why would they do that for Deadpool? Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well, I did hear that Owen Wilson was attached to this though too. I heard Owen Wilson was attached to it.
I did not hear that, but I just will say, like, the only thing is that this is the first Deadpool movie that's actually a Marvel movie, right?
Yeah,
like
first one.
So there, I feel like there will be some effort to tie him into the rest of the universe, because we just had a huge discussion on that's what they fucking do.
Well, they did the whole kind of meta entrance of the situation in She-Hulk, though, too, didn't they? So there is a little bit of precedent.
Yeah, they're talking about mutants, integrating mutants. That's a big thing, is actually just having them be a thing. But also you have Secret Wars coming up, and why would you not want to use these characters in Secret Wars, You're going to be shooting before 2025. So, like, why would you not, unless they are pushing that to recast? I mean, it just makes sense if you're going to touch on Wolverine. Why would you not have? And Patrick Stewart was in an interview talking about how he's working with Ian McKellen again in an X-Men thing. He said that in an interview. He slipped that shit up because Patrick Stewart doesn't give a fuck anymore. Patrick Stewart doesn't care. He's like, yeah, I was talking to Ian about it.
Yeah. Picard out, motherfuckers. He doesn't care.
He was driving like a baby high chair around in that Doctor Strange movie. Like, I mean, what the fuck was that about? I mean, I just wanted Cheerios. I wanted Cheerios to be sitting on the top of that thing. I was like, I cannot with this little yellow go-kart. I'm like, can you just throw the Cheerios around? I know it's in the comics.
That was the most accurate wheelchair.
Seeing that 900-year-old old man
seen on screen
in his high chair without Cheerios was offensive. I'm just saying. Okay, I want the Cheerios. No, dude, I thought it was great. I have nieces and nephews, and I babysat for years. That is literally a high chair, and it needs Cheerios. I'm just saying.
I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I really do. Like, it would be great.
Does it seem like it's a lot, Joe Sean? It seems like it's a lot. It seems like it's too much.
Sean's right. It's too good to be true. That's too much. Oh, my God. You get Deadpool involved with the TVA? That's too much power. Like, it's going to turn into a Duck Amuck situation, or like they did it in Gremlins 2. Like,
Duck Amuck.
I'm just talking about the creators interacting with the creation, which Sean well knows is well-trod territory in comic books.
Absolutely.
But that level of power, Deadpool is going to come out of the screen. They're going to hire actors to come out into the theater and just ruffle the hair of all the kids in the auditorium. I think it's really enticing, because I do think that would be a hysterical way to have a commentary on the acquisition situation. But I think it stinks of internet just because it's too good to be true. Like, it's too much fun and way too much too much complexity to ever really make it to the silver screen. Although, Brian,
seems like so much fun.
There are a couple of things peppered in there, like you said, with Patrick Stewart and Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson,
it's
also
suggestive.
Hugh Jackman recently said that he might be playing multiple Wolverines in this movie too, and part of this leak said there's a huge Wolverine versus Wolverine fight in this that's epic and dope. So I bet
they're going to do something that's crazy and cool and unexpected. So I'm not the biggest Deadpool dude.
Yeah, they have to top Logan if they're going to do a Wolverine versus Wolverine fight again.
Yeah,
which would be very hard to do, I would think.
I don't think it has to be going for straight intensity, though. If it's Deadpool, I think there can be a level of satire and silliness, and everybody's going to be dropping silly one-liners every time they're back. Like, every time they get shoved into a van or whatever and dent it, like, they're going to be saying something crazy, and it'll just be played for laughs, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's
Wilson
part of it.
Could be in a post-credit scene too, like he was for Quantumania. I feel like
that makes sense.
It could be.
That's definitely a very good candidate for a pop-in by Mobius. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that he's gonna, like. Could you imagine, like, Mobius trying to take fucking Ryan Reynolds around as Deadpool, like, he would not have any of that. He literally wouldn't have any of that. And I if they tried to do that, I think it would be very unsuccessful. I love the character Mobius and I love Owen Wilson, but Deadpool runs his show. Like, he runs it. He does not give a fuck. He is 100% like, I mean, he was like the first rated R superhero movie was Deadpool. Like, he does his own thing.
Blade.
Who's Blade?
Oh,
who's
Blade and
Sabrina.
Blade 2.
Wesley Snipes. That's who's Blade.
That doesn't count. That's not a Marvel movie.
Yes, it will. It was Marvel movies
Marvel
before
movie, but
Marvel
it was
movies.
Right, but not
We
in
could
the
have a
Marvel
whole segue
universe.
on this.
I mean,
I know.
not the same thing.
Wow.
I mean,
not the
what
same
is what
thing.
anymore? But all this happened
just
because
saying.
Marvel bought the rights from Fox. That's why this is such a clusterfuck. That's
Right,
why
and now
all these
they're-
characters didn't exist. That's why there were no mutants, you know?
The weird thing is, though, in the last Deadpool, like when he, brought together the X-Force and on screen made it seem like it was like
X-Force.
some weird thing like that didn't really exist. But like the history of the X-Force is that it actually does exist, and the reason why it's the X-Force and not the what's it called? That is unfortunate. What is that? Is
That's Hugh Jackman's face
coming
on
out of-
Deadpool's body.
No,
Yeah.
why? Who did that?
That was in
Why
the
would you
movie.
do
That was in the
That was
movie.
in the movie.
Yeah, it was in
What?
the movie.
When?
Because he was obsessed with Wolverine the whole movie, so he had
Oh, that's
Wolverine's
super
face throughout the whole
unfortunate.
movie.
I don't remember that, and I don't care for it. But what was I saying? Fuck. The X-Force, okay, in comparison to X-Men, they are more like militant and more aggressive, and like in the two Deadpool movies, like they're trying to teach him to be less militant and less aggressive while he like solves crimes. So like that's a real parallel between the X-Force and the X-Men. And then also like all of the people that are involved in Deadpool are actually X-Force members. Not all of them, most of them. Domino was an X-Force member. The Vanisher, who was played by Brad Pitt brilliantly, was an X-Force member. Shadowstar, Cable was the initial like starter or leader of the X-Force. Deadpool, obviously, Wolverine was also involved in it. Like in comic book history, there is like a weird parallel between that and Spiral. Interestingly enough, rumored to be the villain, played by the girl who's playing Diana right now in The Crown, is also an X-Force member. And of course, all of these people are villains, and then they become members, and there's like fights, and then thank you. And they come together. But I'm just saying, like, it's just, I feel like there might be a little bit of validity in her playing that character because that character was eventually became an X-Force member after the whole Mojo situation. So I don't know. I feel
Jojo.
I feel like this is too much. Like it
It
there's
seems
no
like a
way.
lot.
And it's not coming out until November 2024. So like for you to be coming out with a leak right now seems a little bit aggressive. And I just don't.
They just started shooting, or they're about to, I think they're supposed to start this month.
There's a writer's strike, so good luck with that.
But there's a writer's strike, so who knows? And again, they might be in Canada shooting. So there were pictures of Hugh Jackman, and he had the beard from Wolverine. He had the big bushy beard, and he had the hair, and it was like exactly like he was in Wolverine. So, and he was like first day on set. So
I will just quickly say that another X-Force member is the little girl from Logan, who we love from that other. Wow, I can't remember.
His Dark
anything
Materials.
right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I love her.
Lila.
Yeah, she's
Lila.
great.
Lyra.
Yes.
Lyra.
So I would really love if they brought her into this somehow. Just saying, just wish list. If we could bring her in and have her kick some
we're at
ass
that
again, because
stage.
she was amazing.
Yeah, this whole thing is just a wish list of what we want to see, and what they're going to do is going to be completed. Yeah, exactly. We're too far off. Let them continue to muddy the waters with these leaks or whatever. Gotta wait and see, I guess.
And Brian,
And there might be some little truth.
Quit it with these icky graphics of Mojo and icky Deadpool. Bring back that sexy Nick Cage Superman, man. Give us a little eye candy.
Mojo is extremely off-putting.
Bring it back.
There's no good pictures of Mojo, FYI.
There's not any good pictures of Mojo, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for not doing
one
a Mojo, like a Mike Doc situation with.
I thought about it.
Mike Joe.
I couldn't do it to you.
Mike Joe, yeah, exactly.
I was like, it can't happen because for you, I'll bring you some Superman.
Perfect.
There you go.
No, the hair.
That's what we want.
I had hair like that once upon a time.
You did have hair like that before. You could have been Superman. You didn't know it.
I could have been. Yeah, I would have been. I would not have been a very good Superman.
All it took was hair.
All it took was hair. You had no idea. All it takes is hair. But Deadpool 2, everybody, is there any truth to this? Is there anything that's real? Is it all fake? What is it? What do you think, Sean? You got
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3. I say 2?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3. There's so many of them. Is it going to be true? Any of these facts? I don't know. I think it might be a lot of speculation. There might be some tiny threads of facts in here. But for everything, you got to take it for what it is. Again, like I say, it's a fart in the wind. You don't know.
Oh, my.
Let us know where it came from. Chime in.
Let us know in the comments.
Fellas,
Let us know what you think. It means a lot. We love everybody commenting and having fun interacting on the channel. So keep that up. It's great.